Okay, I have never been so excited to ask a question before. I'm literally getting jitters. Is this pathetic, pandering ass woke shit finally dying? At least among gamers.
Good question. Can I go now? I don't know why I'm here.
You are an integral member of this team. I need you.
I'm gonna go.
Okay, but wait. Can we just admire the raw sex appeal right here? I mean, god damn, look at these guns. Holy Oh, you're still here? You can go. Okay, she gone. Now, before we go any further, let's establish something. I mega loathe wokeness. It's pathetic. It's textbook pandering. It's embarrassing. It's pointless. It's racist, sexist, bigoted. Did I mention it's pathetic? If you're woke, I really need you to understand this. Fuck you. You know what? Fuck you twice. 3 times. 4. No fucking 5 times. Okay, I'll stop. But there's a reason I'm asking this question. And that reason is because I think it may actually be dying out. There is a cultural shift that's happening right now. Now, these leftist tards have dominated, and still do, to be fair, media for decades now. But I think even they can tell you that this is happening. Now, this is something you probably already know, and I'm a bit behind on this. IG in France, these fucking yahoos. Let's go ahead and take a look at what was recently published regarding the release of the game Stellar Blade. I'm only going to read this little last paragraph. It's not new, and other games have chose to highlight the strengths of their female characters, but where a Bayonetta stands out with an iconic character design, or a 2B from Nier Automata inspires an entire generation of cosplayers, Eve from Stellar Blade is just bland, but here's the good part. A doll sexualized by someone who has never seen a woman. Obviously, this is a laughably pathetic piece of writing. I didn't take the time to look up who this author was, but I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say her name, they's name is Mel. She has, excuse me again, they have? How the fuck does that work in grammar? I don't know, whatever. Mel has short hair. This little side is shaved, and the top of it's kind of like flipped over, and obviously that is blue. Okay, maybe that's not true, but come on. We know it is. Here's the fun part about this woke bitch. IGN actually came out and apologized and took the article down. There was actually that much backlash from gamers that IGN had to apologize about something woke. Wokeness is finally getting that kind of backlash. It's finally happening. Oh my God, it's happening. Also, just as a rebuttal to the twat that fucking wrote this article, the director of Stellar Blade, this is his goddamn wife. That's a banging ass Asian lady. I mean, that gives him the right to put some fancy ass and titties in the game. And for shit's sakes, why the hell does Mel even give a rat's ass about the character's ass anyway? I'm going to tell you why. She's a bitch. That's why. And you know what? Bitches be bitches. But for the real reason, on top of her just being a bitch, it's the woke way. The woke way is to completely and utterly remove any and all sense of fantasy, all in the name of representation. Yep, they're actually that fucking pathetic. And if you put a nice ass on the screen, that means you're not putting the thems and the days and the ers and the z's and the zers and the zerz's and the fucking zerxes. Because those things don't look like the Stellar Blade character. They just don't. So let's just, fuck this representation in the ass. Gamers don't give a shit about it. Video games are meant to be an escape from reality. Video games are fantasy. Obviously, it needs to be grounded in reality to some degree. For instance, if you're playing a video game that takes place in Nigeria, NPCs should probably look like the typical Nigerian. Same thing if you're playing a game that takes place in Germany. They should probably look German. If you're in Nigeria, NPCs probably shouldn't be 10% Asian, 10% Native American, 10% Mexican, 10% Karens, fucking all in the name of representation. No one gives a fuck. That's the extent of reality we need in video games. And where the real world first really starts to separate itself, well, that's what the characters look like in-game. If all the chicks don't have the body of Miranda Lawson from Mass Effect, you done fucked up. If all the dudes don't look like Duke Nukem, you done fucked up. You know, not even all the characters, mainly just the main characters. Obviously the romance options too, because nobody wants Mel. They just don't. Video games are fantasy. These characters need to look fantastic. If you're a developer like BioWare, going from Miranda Lawson to frickin' Daiki Cora Harper means, say it with me, you done fucked up. I mean, that company really gave us romance options like Morgan, Miranda Lawson, Ashley Williams in the third Mass Effect. And then when the goddamn Panther struck went boom and blew up the fucking universe, they started giving us Cora Harper and Cassandra Pendergast. Guess what? Two butch-haired lesbians. God, these fucktards on the left, they've tried for a decade plus now to redefine beauty standards, all so they can make everyone feel included. And that's been a decade plus of failure. It's gotten so out of control. Piers Morgan recently had a panel on air debate whether or not Sydney Sweeney's tits, and I literally quote, are the double D antidote to woke. The entire world are completely infatuated with them titties. So much so that they're calling it the antidote to woke. I mean, what the hell? Dim titties, though. By the way, my main point here is that even with so many attempts at redefining beauty standards, guess what? Nothing's changed. People still want that itty bitty waist and those big ass titties. It's been a decade plus of complete and utter failure by the woke tards. Nothing's changed. Fracking give it up already. And if you think I'm being just some weird, pervy, right-wing troll dude, you know what? Let's see what an actual, in real life hot chick thinks. Woman, I need ya.
Okay, let's be real. Us ladies want these things on fantastical characters in video games too. People like boobs. People like booty. Put them in the game and let people enjoy fantasy for what it should be. Fantasy. Stop pushing real-world political agendas and just let people enjoy video games again.
Obviously, I'm aware this IGN apology is just one single anecdote, one single article removed, but I want to take you through a little dive on YouTube. Let's take a look at Asmongold's main channel. Let's just look at the kind of content that's been coming out. Look at this. There's a crap ton of anti-woke content here. And that's despite Asmon being a bloody freaking libertarian and even occasional woke apologizer. He's an occasional woke apologizer, let's be real. But even he has been perpetuating anti-woke narratives constantly because even people that aren't anti-woke are fucking tired of woke shit. Which leads me to my next major anecdote of sorts, one that further leads me to believe woke is fizzling out, or potentially so. Sweet Baby Ink. I'm not going to go deep into the SBI controversy. This is like 2 months or more after it all went down. You all already know the gist of that. But the controversy of Sweet Baby Ink, it really highlights the point that I'm making here. Okay, well, just in case you weren't aware, I'll do a quick recap of what SBI is, and I'll actually use SBI's own words to describe them. Quote, Sweet Baby Ink is a narrative development and consultation studio based in Montreal and working around the globe. Our mission is to tell better, more emphatic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. We aim to make games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone. You don't need to read between the damn lines because they're basically outright telling you they're a goddamn DEI consultant agency. Oh, God, it's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. Now, obviously, we have completely failed companies, dead, disgustingly woke failed companies like Kotaku. They've released articles trying to tell you SPI doesn't do what you think it does. Bitch, shut up. They do exactly what we fucking think they do. Shut up, you dildo. God, Kotaku's the worst. But that's not even because Kotaku's just woke apologizers. They're woke propagandists themselves. They're the goddamn worst. They're horrible. SPI does exactly what we think it does. For fuck's sakes, they literally told us it's what they do. It's what they do. They told us. No one has ever said they aren't involved in streamlining plot lines and helping out with stories at all. But they're still DEI consultants at the end of the day. It's literally all they do. Plus a little bit of storytelling. But hey, they made sure to add some Mexicans into a game. Holy shit. How crazy was that? Man, breathtaking stuff. Nothing against Mexicans. I married one. Just to get you to understand how pathetic SBI is, here's what one of their co-founders said just last month. And I quote, this is seriously how freaking pathetic they are. Game developers need to bring in marginalized collaborators from the very beginning to ask them how to make games great and not less bad. This is the kind of idiocy we're dealing with here. Oh my God, adding persons of color apparently just magically makes a game great. Especially if a person of color told you to add a person of color in the game. Oh my God. I just had like a freaking nerdgasm thinking about how amazing that game would be. Whoa. All right, so we've established how relentlessly shit and racist this company is, obviously. But why do I think woke is fizzling out because of them? Just look at the outrage. They've actually become a bit of a scapegoat in a sense, which they should. They have been attacked and mocked relentlessly online. It is fantastic. I mean, the outrage over SBI, if you were to pull up YouTube in the gaming sphere, the last like 3 weeks, 90% of YouTube was just making fun of SBI. It was hilarious. It was good. Hell, Steam even has a page called Sweet Baby Ink Detected. This page is entirely created for followers to see which games SBI have thrown a panderstone into. Also said followers can just stay away from these games. It has almost 500,000 followers. God, that's pretty good. All right, but here's the last thing I want to talk about. Google. The CEO, Sundar Pichai, excuse the likely horrendous pronunciation, if I did. This dude went gangsta. Now, I don't believe for a second that Google is walking away from their woke bias. Not yet, at least, because it's probably still got some profit hiding in there somewhere. Still a lot of North Americans obsessed with woke ideology. But there's signs of hope. This dude actually fired about 30 employees because of an anti-Israeli protest. These twats were asked to leave. They did not. Police arrest these twats. Said twats later terminated. I firmly believe this would not have happened 3 or 4 years ago. In fact, I'm 90% sure 3 or 4 years ago, if this happened, some obese Karen would have come in to offer ways of increasing diversity among the protesters themselves, and then offered them a fucking safe space to go cry in. And to make the story even better, just a couple days after that, another 20 got fired for the same shit. Oh, baby. Sweet Baby Inc. 50 idiots gone. But on top of the firing, let's just take a look at what the CEO's statements were about the topic. Quote, "We have a culture of vibrant, open discussion that enables us to create amazing products and turn great ideas into action. That's important to preserve. But ultimately, we are a workplace and our policies and expectations are clear. This is a business and not a place to act in a way that disrupts coworkers or makes them feel unsafe. To attempt to use the company as a personal platform or to fight over disruptive issues or debate politics. This is too important a moment as a company for us to be distracted." That quote seems huge to me. I mean, I don't even know what else I could say about that. A mega woke company actually just came out saying bitches cut the shit. Nobody wants to hear politics. I mean, that is a quote verbatim. Pachai said that. He said, bitches. Sure. I believe that. It really does beg the question, though, is this woke shit finally fizzling out? For God's sakes, I truly hope. Lord help me, I do. Now, obviously, I was kind of talking about gaming in general when I started this, but I'm kind of referring to tech in general. And if woke starts dying out in big tech, oh, bitch, it's gone everywhere. You know what, woman? I want you to come sit with me again. Let's get that hot piece of ass in here. People are just tired of this crap. Games are people's escape from reality, and companies like SBI come in, insert political agendas into gaming narratives, completely breaking immersion, mind you. It steps you out of the fantasy world you're trying to play, and it puts you right back into the real world. That fundamentally defeats the entire purpose of playing a fucking video game, especially a narrative-based one. People simply want to go back to a time where they play a game and don't have to think about politics. They want to see fantastical characters, and we just want this shit to stop. It's really that simple. Is that really too much to ask? I don't know. That's my take, at least. What do you think?
I thought I was just supposed to sit here and look pretty.
You know what? You did a great job. Thank you for that.